Now in Dragon's Dogma 2, fast travelling is definitely something you want to invest in. In this video I'll be showing you how to get hold of all 5 Portcrystals that are within the game, as well as a way to get one more, giving you 6 free crystals on your playthrough. Absolutely perfect and allowing you to do a lot more of your game and fast travel to places, making things a lot easier. Now the first one we're going to be going over is going to be centred around the town of Vernworth, and we're going to need to make it just over to this weaponsmith just here, where there's going to be an elf standing outside pondering about a situation. You're going to want to speak to them, and then you're going to realise they've been having some issues with their archery and they're wondering how they'd get on with a human bow. The great thing about this, you're pretty much right outside where you need to be, so what you're going to do is buy a weapon from there, probably the cheapest bow would work out best, and then you're going to be able to hand it over to them. If however you didn't have the money or you didn't want to spend it, then you can quite easily go back to the main gate and work your way just up this staircase, and just over in the corner here is going to be a chest with a bow that you can grab straight away, so you could quite easily hand this to them if you really needed one. Be aware though, you will need to have one equipped at some point, as you're going to need a little bit of archery on your side. Once that's done, you're going to want to make sure you're a vocation of the archer or of the warfarer, and then you're going to want to head just up into this direction this way. It is a little bit of a trek, but you're going to be meeting your friend once again, who's going to be doing a little bit of target practice. He's going to ask you for a bit of advice, and after seeing you shoot once, he's going to pretty much turn into Hawkeye and thank you for everything you've done for him. You're going to want to speak to him a little bit more, exhaust his dialogue, and then you're going to head back to the town of Vernworth once again, where it'll be in the exact first place that you saw him previously. From there you're going to proceed his mission a little bit further, so highlight his quest and then go exactly where it tells you to. You're going to find out that things aren't as they seem, and there's actually a trap in place, and there you're going to need to take out some enemies and a much larger foe in order to help out his situation. Once you've defeated everything, you're going to be greeted with a cutscene, and you'll want to walk a little bit, and then you're going to want to speak to your friend and of course his father, who's going to give you a nice little reward in 16,000 gold, as well as a Portcrystal that will help you out very early on. Now over to our second one, and this time probably the closest point is going to be Harvey Village, and then you're going to want to head up in this direction, and we're actually going to be on the hunt for a Griffin's nest. So just keep making your way up here, and then when you can, you're going to want to cross over this area and then make your way just up here. You're going to know you're heading in the right direction because you're going to get jumped by a load of bandits, and things are going to get a little bit misty after that as you enter this aptly named area, the Misty Marshes. Keep making your way through, and I got ridiculously lost here, so I would say put a little waypoint just underneath this mark here, just underneath the E in Marshes, in order to make your life a whole bunch easier. Keep heading off in this direction, work your way round, and eventually you'll get to the place you're after. You will have to keep kind of making your way up and keep scrambling over some of the mountainous terrain, but eventually you're going to make it to the Griffin's nest, where you'll be able to grab a few nice goodies as well as another free Portcrystal. At this point it's completely up to you. You can take them and run, or you can absolutely destroy the Griffin and try and net yourself some nice upgrade materials, as well as whatever else is going to drop. I'd definitely recommend doing that, as these things give you quite a nice amount of XP, and it's always quite a cool fight to do, especially whereas this one didn't fly off like some of the others. Now onto our third one, and this is just a guaranteed one through each playthrough. As soon as you get to a key point in the campaign, and that's going to be the Feast of Deception, you're going to be greeted with a cutscene, and after speaking to Captain Brent once more, you're going to be given a few rewards, and one of them is going to be the Portcrystal. Nice and easy, and that's the third one out of the way. For the fourth one, I believe you can actually get this quite a bit earlier, but if you wanted to, you can also wait until the quest, the Flickering Shadows, turns up, and then you're going to be speaking with this fella just down here, and that's going to be Ambrosia, who's going to be just up from Back Patal. After speaking to him for a bit, he'll tell you there's someone else that you should speak to as well, and then you go make your way just a little bit further on, speak to the fella inside, and he'll have some really nice things for you, and you'll be able to exchange some of your Worm's Life crystals, which you can get from defeating drakes, for some fairy stones, as well as another Portcrystal. The great thing about this, even though the Portcrystal is just a one-time only deal, you can quite easily buy as many fairy stones you want, as long as you've got enough Worm's Life crystals available. Last but definitely not least, and we're going to be going on how you get to number 5, and a bonus number 6 if you did want to get it. So you're going to head off in this direction from the checkpoint rest town, then you're going to need to make your way through the ancient Battleground, because you're going to be going on a little journey looking for the legendary Sphinx. You're going to want to head all the way up to here, where you'll be met by this awesome monster herself. Now at this location there's a lot more involved in it. I'm only going over this briefly, as you'll have 10 trials that you're going to have to complete. However, the reason you're here is I believe it's the second trial. Once you've completed it, which can be done very easily by just placing your main pawn on the pedestal in front of her and then talking to her, as they're going to be the thing most important to you. Once you've done that, they're going to be impressed and you're going to be able to open a chest behind them that will give you another Portcrystal. That will give you 5 in total, and the last one is going to be a few trials on from here. I believe it's the 4th one, and she's just going to say to you, what's your most valuable item and would you be willing to give it over to her? At this stage you can pick whatever you want and she will replicate a complete perfect copy of it, but a lot of people, myself included, went with the Portcrystal, as that way it makes your first playthrough just a whole bunch nicer and easier. So with this you'll be able to get all 6, or like I said, you could change the last one for something else, but the only thing that comes to mind would probably be the XP ring, which you don't unfortunately get until a little bit further on in the puzzles. But yeah, let me know in the comments, hopefully this helped all of you guys and girls out. There'll be a lot more content on the way from me. As always, for All Things Gaming, take care. I'll see you on next day.